2,000 kilometers. In Switzerland, that's a lot of hairpins, a lot of elevation and, given I've had this bike since November, a fair bit of freezing Alpine air. Welcome back to the Paved Goat. Today we're breaking down my first 2,000 kilometers with the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Is it the perfect mountain companion or does it leave me wanting more? Let's get into the reality of living with the Himi. Before I settled on this bike, I was actually hunting in the middleweight twin segment. I spent time on the Tuareg 660 Rally and the Tenere 700. Both are incredible machines, but they weren't quite right for me. The Tuareg felt a bit heavy on the wallet, and with the Tenere I struggled with the seat height and the notorious wind buffeting. Then, late last year, I hopped on the Himalayan 450 at the dealership. It was instant. There's something about the way you can ride out every single gear on this bike that's just addictive. A lot of people ask about the size. I'm 180 centimeters tall and the ergonomics are spot on for me. But honestly, even if you're shorter, don't let the spec scare you. Your inseam matters more than your total height. The bike is very narrow, making it feel much more manageable than a T7. If you're eyeing this bike, go sit on one. It's surprisingly accessible. Let's talk about that Sherpa 450 engine. Coming from the old 411, this is a completely different beast. It's Royal Enfield's first liquid-cooled engine, and you can feel that modern punch. In the Swiss Alps, torque is king. I found that even on steep hairpins, the bike doesn't struggle as long as you keep it in the power band. However, if you're coming from a 1000cc bike, you need to adjust your riding style. You have to be active with the gearbox. But for me, that's the fun part. It makes a 30 km/h hairpin feel like a race stage. You're working for the speed, and the reward is a very engaging ride. What have I actually done in these 2,000 kilometers? Well, mostly exploring my backyard here in Switzerland. Since I picked it up in November, the window for massive tours has been small, but I've managed to squeeze in plenty of mountain roads between the snow showers. Practicality-wise, it's been a win. I'm averaging about 3 liters per 100 kilometers, even when pushing it up the passes. With the 17-liter tank, the range is fantastic. For those of you planning long tours through Europe, this is a huge relief. You aren't constantly looking for the next gas station. My plan is to take this bike on cross-country trips with my girlfriend. No concrete dates yet, but the Himi is definitely the chosen vessel. It hasn't been 100% perfect though. There are a few niggles we need to talk about. From day one, I noticed the bike pulling slightly to the right when letting go of the bars. My dealer remedied it a little bit at a 500 km service, and while it's way better now, almost unnoticeable, it's not quite gone. Royal Enfield is aware of this. They actually sent the dealer a step-by-step diagnostic guide to check the alignment. I'll be definitely bringing it back for a full day so they can thoroughly fix it. Also, my front brake was a bit squeaky at the start, but honestly that issue solved itself over time by now. I almost never hear it. It's a single disc setup, but the stopping power is actually decent. Of course, no comparison to a 1000cc sports bike again, but the Showa suspension keeps it stable without too much front end dive. Now let's look at the cockpit. That round TFT display is very beautiful. Having Google Maps directly on the dash via the Royal Enfield app is a game changer for exploring new Swiss backroads. It's not perfect, the connection can be finicky sometimes, but when it works, it's the cleanest cockpit I've ever used. No need for bulky phone mounts anymore. But the real reason I keep riding it is definitely its character. This bike looks stunning and it turns a lot of heads. There's this funny phenomenon. You'll be leaning through a turn, feeling like you're doing 120, then you look down and you're doing a perfectly legal 80 km/h, or more like 86 km/h. But you get it. It gives you all the thrills without the lose your license speeds. It sounds hella amazing when you ride out the gears, and people constantly check it out when I'm parked. If you're looking to buy a Himi, here's my advice. Check the used market. They've been out for a bit now and you can save some good money on a low mileage bike. Just take a friend and do the usual checks. Regarding the factory tires, the internet says they're bad. In my experience, on Swiss tarmac they've been totally fine. You can push them quite hard on the street actually. I haven't tested them in deep dirt yet, so if you're a 100% you might want to swap them. But for road usage and light gravel, they do the job. Overall, these first 2000 kilometers have been a blast. The Himalayan 450 isn't just a budget bike. It's a bike with soul that fits perfectly into the Swiss landscape. I'm already deep into modding this machine to make it the ultimate tourer. I'll be making an in-depth video about all my modifications very soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for riding along with the Paved Goat, hit that like button if this helped you out, and I'll see you on the next pass. Ride safe.